So we're going to go to Stephanie now.
Thank you, Ray. Our first wine tonight is the 2008 Langmuir Valley Floor Shiraz from a winery whose history stretches back to the 1840s. Christian Ulrich, a German blacksmith, emigrated to Australia to escape religious persecution. Ulrich planted his first vineyard in 1843, and amazingly enough, some of those vines are still producing wine grapes today. Next is Penfolds RWT Shiraz from the 2007 vintage. Penfolds is one of the great names in Australian wine and makes what is possibly the single greatest Australian Shiraz, Penfolds Grange, which sells for hundreds of dollars. Tonight's wine is RWT Shiraz, which stands for Red Winemaking Trial. So we'll have to see what verdict our jury of celebrity guests hands down. Our third Barossa Valley wine tonight is the 2008 Turkey Flat Shiraz. The winery comes by its unusual name thanks to the flocks of native bush turkeys that populated the area when the first settlers arrived in the 1840s. This is a big, bold, luscious red, a masterwork from the Schultz family, who've owned Turkey Flats for almost 150 years. Unlike the rest of these wines, the 2008 Barossa Valley Estates E Minor Shiraz comes from a cooperative of small farmers. They banded together in the 1980s when the Australian government urged vineyard owners to rip out their Shiraz and replace it with Chardonnay. They stubbornly refused, and thanks to that, we have the pleasure of tasting their terrific Shiraz tonight. The fifth wine is the 2006 Elderton Shiraz from a winery that's celebrating its 32nd vintage this year. Like many wineries in the Barossa, though, several of its vineyards are much older than the winery itself. In fact, some grapes from vines over 100 years old go into this plummy, chocolatey Shiraz. The sixth and final wine tonight is Yalumba's 2008 Eden Valley Shiraz Viognier. This wine borrows a winemaking trick from some of the great wines of France's northern Rhone. Though it's mostly Shiraz, a little bit of Viognier, a white variety, is fermented together with the red grapes. Mysteriously, this actually intensifies the deep color of the wine. We'll see if our guests can taste the mystery in this particular glass. All of our wines were selected by an independent panel of wine experts. Each of our selected wines was narrowed down from 20 to our final 6. Here in our studio, our footloose and fancy-free audience just completed their blind taste test of our 6 wines. Let's take a look.
So before we get started, I'd like to share a little bit of information about the region we're going to be tasting wines from and the wines we're tasting, which is Barossa Valley in Australia, Barossa Valley Shiraz. And this is kind of the heartland of Australian Shiraz. Barossa is a little bit north of Adelaide, down on the sort of southern coast of Australia. It's a warm region, beautiful, sort of open land, flowing vineyards, and produces fantastic Shiraz, big, rich, intense wines. Shiraz, you guys may or may not know, is the same grape as Syrah, exactly the same thing. It came to Australia and they renamed it because they're Australian and they felt like that was a good thing to do. And the other thing you may not know is that the Australian wine business actually, and in Barossa particularly, has been going on for a long time. The first vines were planted there in 1846, 47. It's a lot of history to the place. We're tasting some wines tonight that have grapes in them from vines that are over 100 years old.
Our audience has been asked to pick their favorite wine, and they are certainly enjoying themselves. Let's see if they can put down their glasses long enough to tell us what they think. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a winner? Yes! I can't bear the suspense. But before we reveal the audience favorite, let's head upstairs and join Stanley Tucci, Ray, and our guests who have already started their own tasting. Shall we?
Let's get started. Ray, have you brought us the first wine?
I have indeed. And as these are all Shiraz. One thing I'm going to point out, though, this wine actually has a screw top, you can see.
Oh, yeah.
But screw tops have changed completely in the wine industry. That wine could be the $150 wine. It could be a $15 wine. Screw tops never tell you anything now about price.
Right.
So keep that in mind. And you've got your first wine.
And
it's up to you to
drink up.
Drink up. Taste. Enjoy.
Okay. Great.
See you in a bit.
Thanks. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
Rosie, please. This is an American show, all right? Oh, God. Maximillian, let me ask you a question. These are your company's glasses?
Yes.
As far as I know.
Correct.
Unless somebody ran out. I think they're yours. Yes.
Pottery Barn.
Yes. There you go. And this glass, you believe that every wine should have a different